most people think of swimming, they think of Michael Phelps, but open water swimming is a whole different ballgame. Kev, Nick, what's the difference?
Well, one of the biggest differences is the physicality aspect, Nick. Libby Walker talked a lot about the turning when we talked with her. She says when the turns of the lake, you have to kind of fight for the line.
I think she said it can get a little bit violent too.
Exactly, yeah. She said people can throw bows even, which I wouldn't want that in normal air, and especially not in the water.
And the reason they could do that is because, you know, you're not isolated in a lane like
Right.
it would be in indoor swimming. So there's a lot more open water to, you know, get the moves on in the corner or, you know, make that move on somebody to get ahead.
And that lends itself to dealing with the other swimmers. That's not something they have to do in indoor swimming because they're in their lanes. But with outdoor swimming, like we said, there are so many other athletes in the water competing for that one spot.
And also, in indoors, you don't really have to worry about weather, but outdoors, it could be a big issue. There's supposed to be rain Friday and Saturday, so that could really mess with how the course turns out.
Yeah, that could make the water choppy. Wind could make the water choppy. That's not something you have to deal with indoor. They keep it climate controlled indoors.
And the reason that they're not boating there this week either is because jet skis can really affect that water and create a lot of wave patterns that are uneven, and that could really be a harm for swimmers as well.
Yeah, and one thing that prevents that in indoor is the actual lane ropes. They're created to stop the waves, but they don't have that on a lake, obviously. So without that, the waters will be choppier, more waves. So there's a huge difference between open and indoor swimming.
We've got some sound bites coming from Coach and Libby Walker.
I can see how this is going to be, but I'm the only one that knows what it's going to look like once it's all said and done. And we're going to start course setup tomorrow, Friday, depending on the weather. But I've done my best to share it. I'm an awful artist, and I'm even a worse explainer. And so I've been trying to share what this will look like. I want to make sure it goes off without a hitch. And I usually get pretty riled up for stuff like this. And so once that last athlete, it will be the men's race, the last guy that touches the finish pad and everyone's done and had a good experience, I think I'm going to feel really good.
It seems a little less daunting than a 10K for me. So I think for the 5K, it seems kind of crazy to swim for an hour, but in my mind, it's kind of like this is a breather a little bit.
So how do you think our KU's very own is going to do?
Well, they are the favorites. They have Libby Walker, who has been dubbed by her coach as the open waters queen.
Yeah, but she competed in the Olympic trials for this event as well. So she's been doing it since she's been the age of 12. So she's been waiting for this event to come as well, just like Coach Campbell has.
And KU not only has Libby Walker, but they have 7 other swimmers in the event. So they are going to be one of the favorites for the event.
Another storyline is there's a wide array of schools at this event, including Alaska Fairbanks. Definitely gets the award for the farthest school to travel. So it's kind of cool to see, you know, they get to come to summer for a couple of days, so they'll probably want to stay here for a while.
And how does one train for this? Is it girls that are typically swimming in pools, or is it people that have trained for open water swimming most of their life?
Well, I think some of the swimmers, I think 3 of them have not swam in open water before, so they've been practicing a lot this week. And you know, Coach Campbell used to be a triathlete in swimming, so he knows a lot about open water. So he's been coaching them, getting a little exercise himself, being on the kayak out there at practice. So I think he's putting his team in the right direction, having his background in the sport.
But it is a little bit, you need to spend some time in the pool because it's not always possible to swim on a lake for 5 kilometers every day. So they do spend a little bit of time indoors as well.